Welcome to This Explainer. Today, we're diving into something I find absolutely fascinating, the Dyson blueprint. We're going to decode exactly how a masterclass in, well, selling the engineering, literally turns some of our most mundane household chores into a massive, highly coveted luxury empire. If you've ever found yourself wondering why consumers, maybe even you, happily shell out a premium for something like a vacuum cleaner or a hairdryer, well, this is the story that perfectly explains the psychology behind it.
So let's take a quick look at our agenda to see how we're breaking down this innovation strategy. First up, the 5,127 prototypes. Second, the power of visible engineering. Third, the premium price pivot. And finally, defending the innovation moat.
All right, let's jump straight into Section 1, the 5,127 prototypes and the sheer persistence of James Dyson.
So the whole foundation of this empire, it really started with a flat-out refusal to give up on what most people thought was a failed market. I mean, at the time, competitors just saw vacuums as this boring, totally commoditized space, right? It was completely dominated by cheap, replaceable dust bags. But the strategy here was totally different. They looked at that exact same mundane chore and saw an incredible opportunity for relentless, really high-end engineering.
Now check out this number, 5,127. And no, that's definitely not a typo. That is the literal exact number of physical prototypes it took to finally perfect their dual cyclone technology. Just take a second to wrap your head around the sheer persistence that requires. We're talking years of tinkering away in a shed, racking up debt, all just to completely reinvent a machine from the inside out.
But here's where it gets brilliant. In the context of their brand strategy, this massive number isn't hidden away like some embarrassing sign of initial failure. Oh no, they are actively selling the engineering. This 5,127 figure acts as a very public badge of honor for the company. By anchoring the final product to this obsessive human effort, it completely rewrites the script on why consumers value the tech. You're no longer just buying a standard cleaning tool, you know? You're buying the triumphant result of over 5,000 relentless attempts at absolute perfection.
Okay, moving right along to Section 2, the power of visible engineering. Show, don't tell.
So to truly get why we are so drawn to these premium aesthetics, we've got to talk about visible technology. This is a highly strategic design choice where you deliberately expose the internal engineering components directly to the user. Instead of hiding all the cool mechanics behind some smooth, boring, opaque plastic shell, showing them off makes the consumer feel intimately connected to the innovation they just paid top dollar for.
And honestly, the shift is staggering when you put them side by side. On the one hand, you have your standard, boring appliance, hidden parts, dull colors, completely utilitarian. But on the other hand, you have a true design icon featuring transparent bends and that highly visible tech we just talked about. They took a purely functional machine and turned it into an absolute centerpiece. You can literally watch the mechanics working, which fundamentally rewrites our psychological relationship with an everyday household item.
By featuring things like transparent dust bins, really brightly colored internal parts, and fully exposed mechanical functionality, they basically executed the ultimate show-don't-tell strategy. And actually, here's a fun little fact. Traditional market research insisted that consumers would find seeing all that spinning dirt gross. But they ignored that feedback, did it anyway, and proved that showing the engineering directly increases the perceived value of the tech. When consumers can literally see the dirt swirling around in those cyclones, they instinctively feel the power they just bought.
Which brings us to Section 3, the premium price pivot, and how they went about expanding the empire.
So I really want you to ask yourself, why do we buy premium-priced everyday tools? Decades ago, the idea of dropping luxury money on a vacuum or, say, an ultra-premium hairdryer would have sounded completely absurd to the average buyer. Yet here we are today, and this brand absolutely dominates the premium space. Why are we so willing to gladly hand over our money for this stuff?
Well, the secret lies in the halo effect of high R&D. By continually and very vocally highlighting their astronomical research and development costs, they basically effortlessly justify a luxury price point. Consumers value this premium tech because the entire brand narrative puts cutting-edge engineering above absolutely everything else. You aren't just buying molded plastic, you're buying into a status symbol of pure innovation.
And once that premium positioning is really locked into the consumer's mind, well, then the empire can scale. Step 1, dominate vacuums. Step 2, disrupt hair care. Step 3, reinvent air purification. By leveraging their already established luxury positioning, they systematically moved their innovation engine into completely new, incredibly profitable categories. It's genius, really. If you can make a vacuum cleaner a luxury item, you can absolutely do the exact same thing with a hairdryer or a fan.
All right, let's wrap things up with Section 4, defending the innovation moat and protecting all that tech.
To ensure that their premium positioning remains completely exclusive to them, they aggressively utilize intellectual property moats. Now, these are the strict legal and technological barriers companies use to protect their innovations and maintain a solid competitive lead. Because think about it, when your entire brand relies on being technologically superior and visually distinct, you've got to build incredibly high legal walls to keep out the copycats, right?
So by legally protecting not just how the machine functions, but also that highly specific visible engineering we talked about earlier, they actively prevent competitors from just knocking off their iconic designs. They don't just patent the motor inside, they protect the exact specific way it exposes its parts to the user. And this strategy ensures they maintain a massive competitive lead, allowing them to remain the sole purveyors of their totally unique style of luxury tech on the global market.
So, as we wrap up this explainer on the strategy behind premium tech, I want to leave you with one final, kind of fascinating thought. What ordinary object is going to become the next luxury icon? We've just seen how obsessive engineering and brilliant visible design can transform the most boring household chores into highly coveted luxury experiences. So look around your house right now. What mundane, everyday object is just sitting there, waiting to be completely reinvented next? Keep questioning, keep observing, and keep looking for the brilliant engineering hidden in your everyday life.